Right. So as I did also highlight, I am recording this meeting. So the recording will be available to everybody else after the meeting on YouTube. So please also just check it out after the meeting should you need a recap on the session. But also just to introduce our speaker today, we have Mr. Atul Padalkar. So Atul is our guest speaker today. He will be taking us through how do you start a business. If you currently do have a business, how do you grow your business? That's basically the theme for today. So today is also our first Think Tank Thursday for 2026. So it is a monthly session. So for some of you who are new here, please do bear in mind that we host this Think Tank Thursday sessions monthly online from 2 to 3 p.m. So also we do communicate that with all our youth and our supervisors. But before we can just start off with Atul's presentation, I just want to make a few announcements, right? So you may be aware from the groups that we've shared on WhatsApp. So also part of the Think Tank Thursday session, we do host our brand ambassadors, right? Because we do also want to highlight our youth who've been doing good within the program. We also highlight our alumni. So also from today's session, we do have an alumni that we want to spotlight. So his name is Oguhle Sapula. So Oguhle was funded under Mercedes-Benz. He is an entrepreneur. So we are awarding him with a certificate for demonstrating outstanding entrepreneurial driven by transforming workplace skills into growing businesses. So he is an entrepreneur. I'm not sure if he is online. Oguhle, if you can also just tell us a bit about your background, your participation within the program, what do you do now? So that also our other participants can see why are you the alumni brand ambassador? Why did we choose you? Also the impact from the program since you are an alumni. So maybe just 1 minute. We don't have a lot of time. Just 1 minute of introducing yourself and what do you do? You are muted, Oguhle. Okay, I'm not sure if you're having an issue on your end, Oguhle, but yeah, so he will be our spotlighted alumni brand ambassador for the month of February. So we do this monthly. Also, if you want to be spotlighted rather, please ensure that you are engaging with us and ensure that you are completing your yes models, you are doing your Allison courses, you are attending our monthly sessions, because that's also part of the criteria. Because there's a lot of questions to say, how do I become a brand ambassador, right? So that's part of the criteria. So over to you, Oguhle. I see you are unmuted now. Can you talk?
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you, Oguhle.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Okuhle Sapula. I'm a 25-year-old florist born and bred in the township of Mdantsane. I was in the Yes Youth Program in the year 2023. Then it ended in the year 2024. I'm currently running my own business, which is a floral business. The business does wedding flowers, funeral flowers, romantic bouquets. We are based in East London, but we cater for the whole of the Eastern Cape. So we do travel to the other parts of the Eastern Cape. That's me. I did my program under Yes Youth, funded by Mercedes-Benz. My host site was Silulo Business Solutions at the time, of which I've gained a lot of skills and experience on how to run a business, how do the departments in a business interlink with each other, because I was working in an SME business, which is a small business in East London. I think that covers my background.
It does. Thank you so much and congratulations to you. Thank you so much, Oguhle, for sharing your story. And I'm happy that you are an alumni and you are into entrepreneurship, which is, the theme for today's Think Tank Thursday session. So thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Also, we have also another announcement. You might have now are familiar with Pay Me Now. So we have rolled out a few SMSs. You might have also received the SMS. So basically, we are partnering with Pay Me Now just to also offer that financial wellness platform that can allow you to access part of your salary before you even get paid by the end of the month, right? So, is there anyone else joining from Pay Me Now who will also just jump in and introduce Pay Me Now for those who might be questioning? How can I access it? Because there's been a lot of questions to say, how can I be part of Pay Me Now? How do I register? And so forth. Okay, I see Ronaldo, you're online. So over to you, Ronaldo.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Good afternoon, everyone. What I'm going to do is I'm quickly just want to share my screen and just bring up the other poster, if you don't mind. Just give it a bit more concise information. So you just give me a second here. Cool. Can everybody see that?
It's still loading. Yes, we can see it now.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much for the opportunity. This is really going to be a quick introduction. We will be having a more in-depth session in next month's Think Tank Thursday. So very excited about that. But very simply put, Youth at Work have launched a brand new employee benefit to all the youth. It's called Pay Me Now. Pay Me Now is the ability for you as youth to access up to 800 Rand of your salary before the end of the month. So should you need money middle of the month, for groceries, for transport, for a medical emergency, we don't want you as youth borrowing the money from loan sharks or from a family friend or from a bank. You now have access to your own salary in the form of Pay Me Now. We also have you can withdraw the money in cash that then gets paid into your bank account, or you can then also make use of the 800 Rand to purchase data and airtime, Pick and Pay vouchers, Boxer vouchers, ShopRite vouchers, even prepaid medical aid on the platform. You also have the ability, should you want to purchase a Pick and Pay voucher for someone, for maybe your mother that's in the Eastern Cape, you can also do that and send her that voucher. So again, everyone would have received some of these posters and seen some SMSs flying around. What we need you to do is, if you would like to register for Pay Me Now, it doesn't cost you anything to register. The app is also data free, so it's not going to cost anything to make use of the app. And if you don't have a smartphone, you also have USSD, which is that *120 *7667 hash. And again, we will make all of these posters available. What I'll do is in the chat, I will put the Pay Me Now link there for you now to access and to register your free Pay Me Now account. So again, we'll have a more in-depth session in the next think tank. But please, if you do have any questions, please go to www.paymenow.app. The link that I'm going to put in the chat box now. Please then click on the support button. It will take you through to our WhatsApp line, and you can either request a call back from our team, or you can speak with our team on WhatsApp and ask them how to register. So again, you have the ability to take up to 800 Rand of your salary throughout the course, or before the end of the month. This benefit is available between the 1st to the 11th of each and every single month. You also have the ability to save a portion of your salary in an interest-bearing account. So the interest varies between 8 to 12% interest per annum, so very, very high interest rates, and that doesn't cost anything to save your money each and every single month. There's a lot of financial education, how to budget, how to manage my money better. If you are in debt, how to be assisted, and we also have a lot of financial coaches available there to be able to assist you. So again, this benefit is there for mid-month emergencies. We don't want you as youth struggling throughout the course of the month to get to work and borrowing money for transport. Rather, take a salary advance, make use of Pay Me Now. There's a tiny fee attached to it. For 500 Rand, the fee is about 15 Rand. It's not interest, it's simply just a withdrawal fee. Any amount that you take on Pay Me Now will be deducted in that same month, because again, it's not a loan, it's simply just you accessing a portion of your salary. So again, I'm going to put the link in the chat box. Please feel free to click that link, register your free Pay Me Now account. And if you do have any questions, you can either contact us via the WhatsApp button, or you can also request a call back via WhatsApp on the application, and we will give you a call back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ronaldo. So those who are interested can just click the link on the chat, and also stay in tune, because on our next think tank, we will be speaking about Pay Me Now more. So yeah, that's that on our next think tank Thursday for March. Thank you so much, Ronaldo.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. And then I know we are going over Atul's time, but because we started a bit late, I'm just going to request that at least we end off the meeting at least around 5 past or 10 past 3. Ne? So please be patient with us. So there's just one more announcement from us as Youth at Work. So we do have Zelato, which is a rewards program that we've been running out, and also introducing our alumni community for those who would be transitioning into being alumni, whose contract will be coming to an end soon. So we're just going to share a bit more info in terms of what to expect when you are an alumni, or about the Zelato if you are interested in really getting more information on that. So I'm going to hand over to my colleague Ebenezer, who's going to take us through a bit about what is it about. So over to you, Ebenezer.
Thank you very much, Janelle. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Okay, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. So for those of you who were once on the YES program before, we have now a dedicated to ensure that you're able to grow beyond who are entrepreneurs are able to be guided properly and also supported. This also opens up platform for cross collaborations, and it doesn't end there. For those of you who are in employment but still need that guiding hand to say, this is where I am. I'm a bit stuck. I don't know what to do. I just need guidance here and there. We're there for you. And also for everyone who is still unemployed, we're also there for you to help guide and show a path to say, these are the kind of certifications you can take on. They are free of charge. And what is it that you can do to upskill? And also to help you prepare for that next opportunity. We are here for you. So we do have an email address called alumni@sayouthatwork.com. I will be posting it in the chat section. And apart from that, we have a platform called Zelato. So now this is a rewards program that Youth at Work has enabled all of you who are part and were part of the program to be able to receive rewards through each and every single session that you get to attend, most especially for journey mapping. So I will be posting that on the chat so that I don't take too much time for our speaker. Thank you very much, Janelle.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much, Ebenezer. Please just try to go through the chats, guys. We're also trying to share the information that we're speaking about on the chat so that you can be able to access it. And also, there's just one more thing, right? So we're trying to run also a training program, especially for those who are interested, who want to be digital marketers, right? So this is free of charge to you. It's paid for you. So we are looking for youth who want to participate in this training. So this is strictly online. So you just need to ensure that the first requirement is you are an alumni, right? And also you have completed our survey for the alumni. Be onboarded on Zelato. Zelato is the platform that Ebenezer just spoke about now. If you are not onboarded, please just click the link on the chat and register for Zelato. And another one is you need to have a stable internet connection because most of our trainings will be online, right? With the digital marketing training. So you need to be able to at least commit to 6 hours per week for the training classes, right? So this will roll out for 12 weeks. The closing date is the 28th of February. So if you are interested, remember this is strictly for Youth at Work alumni, those who've been part of the program through Youth at Work. So if you are interested, please just scan the QR code on the screen. It will direct you to the application form so that you can register. So we will also be sharing this on the WhatsApp group so that it's easier accessible. So yeah, thank you so much. I think then we can hand over to Atul. Atul, sorry for taking a bit of time, but I'm just gonna pull out your presentation so that we can start with the theme for today's session, which is how to grow your business, right? So over to you, Atul.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Daniel. Good afternoon, friends. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you. As you know, Bizfarm is also a host site, and it's been a pleasure for us to be working with Youth at Work for so many years. And I think we are proud of this because Youth at Work in KZN were based at our offices not very long ago, and they've outgrown it. We've grown Youth at Work so that they needed more space and more youth could be assisted as a result of that. So we are very, very fortunate and proud of this association. And I think we are now taking this association to the next level. And today we are going to look at something more interesting, which is about your life after the Youth at Work and the YES program. So I think the best way to kick it off is through a poll, which you will see just now coming up on the screen. And this is a very honest introspection to understand where we are all right now. So if you can see the screen and the poll coming up just now through Dineo, it's some very honest introspection as to where you think you can be going next in your careers. So yeah, thank you, Dineo. The poll is up. All you need to do is just click any of these four options which you think is most suitable for you. The question is pretty simple. After your internship, where do you see yourself as a chance of getting a job, either at your as a sponsor or your host side? So how sure are you in terms of that? Are you very sure? Are you sure? Or you cannot say, or it's not very likely? I think the poll has gone off. I'm not sure if everybody's had a chance. Maybe if it's possible, Dineo can get the poll back if that's possible. And I see a block on the slides. So Dineo, if you can also see this, show the slides in full screen mode, maybe.
Oh,
And we
okay,
don't
so
need
the
to
the
see all.
the poll is still up.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see it, and I think Katleko also says he can't see it.
Okay.
The answers popped up just now, but
Okay,
okay,
let's
looks like
try.
it came and it went.
Okay, is it visible now?
I can't see it, but others are also saying they can't see it.
I think maybe it might be a network issue.
All right. But are you able to access the findings from the poll so that we can see what the answers are looking like? Or
Yeah,
maybe
so
the other, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm pretty happy to see that quite a few people are either sure, but I think the majority is cannot say, and that is absolutely understandable because we don't know at the end of your internship what's going to come up next. So that's pretty difficult. So I think today's conversation is not about a motivational talk. It's about a reality check, and it's also about thinking where you will go ahead in life, because the reality is that this internship will finish. Everything in life at some point has a closure, and so does unfortunately this internship. It's very nice when you have it, but unfortunately it is a 12-month kind of a period, and it will come to an end. And it's different for everybody, because some people might have started in a different month, and therefore after 12 months you will be through. And we have many different sponsors, so all the more reason why it will finish. So what is the $1 million thing that's going to come up is that what happens after internship, especially if you're not absorbed by your host site or by your sponsors. So that's the big question which we are now trying to address. And I think this is a reality which we have to see it from the lens of entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is not an optional skill. It's a survival skill. It's something which I think the world of work in the future, everyone is expected and required to have. And the quicker you start, the better. So that will help all of us to understand entrepreneurship as a survival skill, something very, very essential, like what the caveman needed, like starting fire. If you can't start a fire as a caveman, you are doomed to die out of thunder, cold, and not be able to eat cooked food. So the same thing is, in a way, applicable to entrepreneurship as well. And very often people ask us, what is the meaning of entrepreneurship? And there are a lot of textbook definitions. So I'll move to the next slide by saying that entrepreneurship is a life skill, but it's also the discipline of acting under uncertainty. It's also about recognizing opportunities, and where others see that things are not possible, you build from what you have and you build from where you are. So you don't expect for the absolute ultimate scenario situation for the most favorable weather to be available for you, but you get started regardless and you progress regardless. And I think that is the essence of entrepreneurship. You can never expect the absolutely perfect situation to be there for you, and you make the best of whatever is available. So this is the nature of work, and the future of work is changing dramatically. There are a lot of factors which are taking place. So the next slide of the future of work talks to us about how the future of work has changed, especially from the times that our parents, who mostly lived in a life where they had a full-time job, most of them had it for their whole life. My father used to work for a company and he worked for that company for all of his life. He retired, they gave him a nice gold watch and a pension, and that was about it. And the pension was quite so small, especially after you get used to living on a salary. To live within the pension is a quite jump of a drop. So it becomes difficult. And today, companies are no longer, hiring us for loyalty. They are asking you to have certain skills. If you are not having those skills, they will probably find somebody else and replace you with those skills. So increasingly, big companies are actually restructuring, resizing, downsizing, retrenching, and trying to find out how they can make their company into a lean organization. In many cases, it's work from home, so they're of course saving office space as well. And that's basically becoming the world of work of future. And many people are able to, in the world, to any other place in the world and work from there. So that's gig work, which is basically how we see the future of work to be. And it's from one job to the other, and it's about one assignment to the other. But there's one thing about it, it's all about employability and not necessarily employment. So full-time, lifetime employment is gone. So long as you are relevant to the needs of the market, you have the right skills, you will be employable. And I think that's where the emphasis is. Entrepreneurship focuses on having employable and market related products and services and skills. And that's the most important thing. Now, let us look at it from a South African reality, which is not great. We all know that we have a huge problem in terms of unemployment, and the YES program is definitely one of those interventions which is primarily aimed at giving young people a workplace experience so that they can become more employable. But it's not practical and possible for every unemployed person to go through the YES program, simply because it costs a lot of money and the numbers are not as many possible. If you see in the total number of unemployed people, the number of people participating on the YES program are much lesser. So it's not a solution for everybody. Having a degree or a diploma, and you will see that a lot of people who have even a university pass are not able to secure a seat at the university. So that's a challenge, that not everybody can get a university seat and not everybody can get a job, because our rate of economic growth is much lesser compared to the rate of our population growth, which means more people are entering the workforce and we don't have enough jobs for these people. So what do these people do? They have to do something, because they have to find a way of earning a living in some way or the other. And increasingly, that is where small businesses are coming to the rescue. A lot of our youth are also employed with small businesses. And that is a very good way, because you see on a first-hand basis how a small business works, how the entrepreneur, the owner of a small business has to hustle, has to work on doing things. And I think if you are employed, or if your current work site is a small business, it's a fantastic opportunity for you, because you can see how a small business works and take lessons and learnings from there. So I'm not going to sell you why entrepreneurship is important. I'm only going to present to you in the next slide of why entrepreneurship is a possible skill, which I think is worth certainly managing and developing for yourself. So it's not a career choice exactly. It's a skill you learn along the way. You learn how to solve problems. You learn how to spot opportunities. You learn how to sell, manage money, and most important, how to remain strong and undeterred in spite of difficult situations and circumstances. And every entrepreneur goes through good times and bad times, mostly through bad times. And then there are some days where the times are good. So you become very resistant and you become extremely strong to go through that thing. And that's the reality of how future of work is also looking like. And therefore, I would say that entrepreneurship is very much the future of work. So it's a life skill which unfortunately is not taught, I would say, in the right way in our traditional educational system, because it's not something that you learn from a textbook. It's you learn by doing. So in the next slide, we are going to see how entrepreneurship becomes the future of work, because the first thing that it is distinguishing compared to especially employment is entrepreneurship builds freedom for you. It gives you the freedom to work when you want, how you want, with a team of your choice, at a place of your choice, with a customer of your choice. And you learn how this business works for you. When you are employed, you work for the employer. In the case of entrepreneurship, if you do it in the right way, you will be able to make a business work for you. So the purpose of entrepreneurship is to build a business which works for you. So the business is your employee. It is able to do stuff for you, and therefore entrepreneurship is able to build for you the kind of freedom that you would like to have. Would you not like to have freedom? And on Monday morning, instead of jumping into traffic, catching a taxi in the middle of heat or cold or rains, that would be great. So this is a life choice, and this is a choice that you choose. But many people don't get started. They just think, no, I'm good, I'm fine. So people are happy to choose the way that they are currently going with and not change anything. And I think it's important to get started. But a lot of people say, no, I am not ready to get started. So I would want now the next poll, if I can request for that to come up. And that's a question that if you're not already an entrepreneur, what is it that is stopping you from starting? Is it the lack of a business idea? Is it not having enough startup capital? Is it not having a team? Or is it being scared that you might fail? Which of these are possible reasons? Please click the correct choice which you think is in your situation, the reason why you've not started. And as soon as you've finished clicking it, we will have very quickly the answers of what almost everybody thinks. So it's not going to take your name and say that X person has said, I'm scared of starting because I don't have money to start. So it's not going to name you by a person. It's just going to tell us what does the group in total think about it. So please click your correct choice, and we'll see the poll answers in a few minutes after you've finished with the poll. So we'll keep the poll up for a few minutes if that's possible. And understand that the one thing that's in your hands is your time. Time is the most precious resource in everybody's hands. And what people don't realize is time flies. We all realize that time is flying, and we find excuses and reasons for not starting. So in the next slide, you will see that there's a cost to waiting. Why waiting doesn't take us any far? Because very often people say, hey, I'm not ready yet. I think I need to just accumulate a little bit more money. Let me finish my internship and then I'm going to start. Let me ask my friends who's going to join me, but nobody is interested in joining me. So I'll wait until somebody is interested, and I'm scared to fail, etc., etc., etc. With a lot of excuses, and we talk ourselves into failure because of all of these excuses. And you never feel that you're ready because you don't know what you're jumping into, you don't know what it feels like, and therefore we eventually just don't get started, which is not a great place to be, because the longer you wait, the more time you waste. And the more time you waste, it means that you are preventing yourself from learning or making money. And that leads us to the question that many of us are confronted with a lot of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are basically those thoughts in our minds, and our mind can be a very interesting space. We talk ourselves into success, but we also often end up talking ourselves into failure. So the most common limiting belief when I say people don't start is they think that I don't have the money to start a business. And that's what very often people think that is the number one limiting belief. I need capital, they think. Is that true? And please share with us in the chat. Do you think not having money is a good reason to start a business? Because most of the small businesses have actually started without having money. Facebook, for example, started from a college dormitory, and most businesses actually start without money, and that's fine because that's exactly how it works. It's growth which is what needs money. Startup is literally bootstrapping, which means getting started with what you have, and even if that is little, it does not matter, because your business, if the concept is right, will often be funded by the customer himself or herself. So that's a great way to start, because capital will follow traction. That means when you know you've got the right product or service, you will definitely be able to move and get more customers. So if you have the skills and if you have the customers, money will come. And I think that's the real catch, that money is not the limiting factor. So it's not a limiting belief. The second limiting belief that very often people tend to have is their own image, that, hey, I'm not an entrepreneur. This business thing is not my stuff. I would rather get a job, but hold it, there's no job. There's not enough jobs. So very often people believe that because they are not an entrepreneur, it's not necessary for them to start. Because they think that to be an entrepreneur, you have to be born as an entrepreneur. But we know this now. Yes, a few, maybe 5% are born as entrepreneurs, but it is something that can be learned over a period of time. And we are now at a time in the history of mankind where the resources to start a business are freely and plentifully available. And I'll tell you a lot of other interesting things towards the end of this program. So people are born as entrepreneurs, great and good for them. But it's about ordinary people who start and who make a success. And most people are ordinary people. When I started my business, I was of a very similar belief that I'm scared to start this, but circumstances were such that I had to. So there was no option but to start a business. And many people end up with that back to the wall situation, and you get started. So you don't become an entrepreneur first. You start and then you become an entrepreneur. And that's the next slide, which is basically about, what your limiting belief of not being an entrepreneur starts. So if you haven't started at all, you have failed even before you've started. So that's the key thing. And don't be scared about fear of failure, because that is something which we normally take into account and we run with it in any case. So fear of failure is again a very common question that people will laugh at me. What if it doesn't work? Don't worry. You just have to get going with it and get started with it. As we move to the next slide, and I think we can do the poll if people are able to complete what the answers have been. Then we can check what the answers on the poll have been so far. So colleagues, let's have a quick look and see what the answers are. Okay, as expected, the most common reason why most people don't start is because they think they don't have the startup capital, or they don't. Second reason is they don't have a business idea. So this is pretty much in line with what most commonly observed barriers to starting a business are. Perfect, excellent. Thank you, Daniel, for the poll and setting them up. This was lovely and timeous. So we've gone through these couple of slides, some of them which I have removed. So we've gone through the limiting beliefs. So we'll go to the next slide, which is the slide about limiting belief 2. So Daniel, that also we have covered. Then next slide, which we are going to, is the priceless art of the start. And that's the main emphasis which I'm going to work on. The next slide, Daniel, is the priceless art of the start. Thank you. So entrepreneurship is mainly to make you future proof. It's a skill. It's not something that you read a book and do. It's almost like learning how to swim. You can read as many books about learning how to swim, but it's only when you decide to jump in the water that you will actually learn how to swim. And sometimes you kind of drown a little bit. But yes, I think with the right coach, with the right support, anybody is able to start off by figuring out how to swim. And that's precisely how entrepreneurship also tends to be. So entrepreneurship is about having that skill, having that experience by which somebody is able to get started. So it is a skill which you can use even if you are in a job, for example. And in a job, increasingly, especially if you are working in a small business, if you are also entrepreneurial, the business owner actually appreciates the way at how you are able to find solutions, because you have to think out of the box. And entrepreneurship is basically wearing many hats at the same time in the business. and also finding solutions, solving problems almost on the fly kind of a basis. So that's the beautiful way of how entrepreneurship works. It's a life skill. Nobody can take it away and nobody can steal it from you, because once you've got that skill, I think you're pretty much good to go. That's the best part of entrepreneurship. But because people take a long time to start, it limits them. So we look at the next slide, that it's important for somebody to start early. Right. So this is the best time, I would say. When you're on an internship, the good thing is a fair amount of your expenses get taken care of with your stipend. And as we saw, you've got solutions by which you can even withdraw some of your next salary as an advance. So financially, you kind of have that safety net. Of course, an internship stipend is never enough. We always find that there's always more time than the money of the stipend. But anyway, this is a great time to learn, because you are able to be at a workplace which after work over the weekend gives you enough time and space to learn. It gives you the room to make mistakes. It gives you your supervisor, your other peers, your other friends, people at the workplace who you can work with. And yes, even if you fail, you don't lose too much, because if you otherwise have started a business and failed, there can be a bit of a loss. But if you start early, you don't lose too much. And I think that's why this is, I think, a great time and place for anybody to start a new business. Do it before it's too late. That's what I'm going to say. So start your journey into entrepreneurship while the going is good. Don't wait for difficult times. And that's the most important thing I want to emphasize. So how do you get started? Let's see that as a simple framework to getting started in the next slide. So there's a very simple framework, which is, first of all, to start off with a very simple hustle idea. You link it to your skills, you speak to customers, you test your offer, you earn your initial income, and you're on your way. So this is basically a very simple step-by-step kind of a formula. You develop the necessary skills and you put them to work. So these are very simple ways in which how one can get started. I'll elaborate this a little bit further in the next slide. So the idea is to get started by using a very simple understanding of, do you see a problem which people see every day? And we just saw one of the colleagues who is an alumni. He probably sensed that people need wedding flowers. People need flowers, and Valentine's Day is just 11 days away, 9 days away, sorry. So, people are going to need flowers. They want to send flowers to their, uh, person they admire, love, and worship. So yeah, that's a great way. So somebody has to do the job. And if this business is able to do the job, what a pleasure. So do you see a problem or do you see an opportunity that people have? Who are those people? What do you know about those people? How can you make a difference? How can you deliver the flowers in a simple way? What can you charge? How much are others charging? How can you charge better? And it's not always about pricing, by the way. It's about quality, speed, delivery, and a differentiation. So that's what one needs to build upon. And yeah, you basically talk to people, you engage with people, you ask them, you make them offers, and that's basically how you get started. And there are many, many interesting movies, some of which will be a part of your program, which is called Start Your Business. We'll come to that just now. But what is critical is the hustling. You've got to start a side hustle early enough, because it's the hustle which allows you to create a small stream of income. It's not going to be enough initially, but it's a good way of testing your hypothesis in terms of an idea. It's a low risk way to start. It's a learning platform. It's understanding the market, understanding the customer, understanding how people think, who are your friends, and so forth and so on. So hustling is a great way to get started while the going is still good. And what we've done is basically converted this whole hustle into a structured program after quite a few discussions with the team at Youth at Work. And we are here to serve you with this kind of a program. We have framed this as a challenge. And it's not a challenge as a problem, but it's designed as a, can I say, obstacle course. So you become stronger with each obstacle that you kind of learn to jump over and through. It's almost like a military obstacle course, where in the next slide you will see what we have is many different obstacles, and what it starts off with is basically a simple growth wheel assessment. We use that tool to set up your ambition, and once you see that ambition, you put a 30, 60, 90-day kind of a plan for yourself. You present that as a growth plan. Then you start looking in the green boxes here, something about customers, which is making sure that you understand who is your right customer, what offer you are making, how you decide to price, how do you decide to uh, you know understand the transfer of money, for example, how you build the business model, and how do you demonstrate that as a concept. Then you go into customer acquisition, putting techniques like building a sales pipeline, putting together a understanding of the problem solution fit, and a market readiness demo. There is a very simple process of how this gets done. And at each stage of these 12 weeks, there is something at the end of it that you need to be able to demonstrate and say, I have done this. So it's a step-by-step program. It's aligned to the new venture creation program by Services CETA, which is accredited, as we are also accredited with them. And this program works for entrepreneurs who have the appetite to get started. And I think that's something which we want to enroll a lot of people from this course here, from this program here. Then he was going to talk a little bit about that. So there are many ways in which how we as Bizfarm, also as a host site, also as people who are into the entrepreneurship space, how can we help you to start your business? And I think this is a program which we want to bring to you, to ask if you would be interested in having access to a program like this. Would you be keen? Would you be interested? And that's the poll which is going to come up just now. Whether you are keen, whether you cannot say, or whether you would just let it go by for the time being. So Daniel, maybe if you can please put the poll up. Thank you for that. It's up. I can see it. All you need to say is yes. If you're keen, then just click that first button. If not, either of the two other buttons. But look, I think the way we are working around this is primarily to be able to offer you this program for free. And what it gives you is a step-by-step process, a step-by-step method. You will get a certificate at the end of this program if you complete it. You can eventually also perhaps get credits for it. It can be converted in the later stages into a full qualification, which is a post-metric qualification. So there's everything going for you in this regard. So you just need to make the right choice. And while you're thinking and clicking the correct buttons of your choice, I'll quickly tell you about how Bizfarm works and what are the different programs that we run. So obviously, apart from being a host site, we run programs in the fast growing space of the green and renewable energy. We are currently recruiting as we speak for the green hydrogen program. It's an interesting program, especially for people in the chemical, mechanical, electrical, or even civil engineering space. So this is a program, it's a 3-month program where we train young people to become role players in the green hydrogen value chain. We can help you to register a company. Normally, if you go outside, you would pay close to 1,000 rands to register a company, but we will do it for you almost nearly at cost, which is 250 rands once off. We also offer you office space. So a lot of interns use Bizfarm offices to actually do interviews online and so forth. So for such people, we don't charge anything. Yes, and you're more than welcome to also refer your friends to join the YES program and be at the Bizfarm workplace. That option is also there. We offer a lot of free tools. One of them is Growth Wheel. So if you move the poll slide aside, what you can do is click that QR code, which will give you a free Growth Wheel account. And that's how you can join the Growth Wheel program straight away. That's the little team that you see at the bottom. Those are all YES interns, and these are all part of the team who we kind of work with. And yeah, I think what the key for us is to basically do today is to get a sense of your appetite and willingness and interest to click onto that program and see if that might be something of interest to you, because it doesn't need too much time. It needs barely about a week, about an hour or two in a month, in a week, sorry. And yeah, it's something which you can only learn by doing. So this is all about doing. Not about thinking, not about dreaming, not about wondering, but about getting started. So we want to push everybody for getting started. The details are, of course, there with Dineo. But on the next slide, you'll also see where the Bizfarm offices are and all of those things. But I wanted to leave a few minutes for question and answers. Our mission, as you can see, is to grow entrepreneurs. And in the normal agricultural context, you would grow mealies and cabbages and other things, veggies and so forth. But we want to grow entrepreneurs, and that's the farm, which is Bizfarm, where we grow entrepreneurs. It's also a registered trademark, and that's how we want to help you. We want you to understand that entrepreneurship is the way of future. It's a skill you have to develop, and I think in a way you are blessed that you are part of the Youth at Work internship program with Yes. And if that enables you to access these opportunities, I think that's the best thing that we can collectively, as Youth at Work and as Bizfarm, offer at your service to become a sustainable contributing member of our country. So I think if now that the poll has been up for a bit of time, let's have a very quick look to see what is the appetite of everybody to join such a program, and we will have a look at. Oh my God, I'm so overblown that yes, we've got most people actually saying that they are very keen. That's 78%. That's an amazing response. Thank you very much for that. Give yourselves a round of applause for that, even if it is a virtual one. If you want to unmute yourself and just clap for a moment, that would be great. I can see the claps are already starting to glow. That's well done. And I think this is a vote of confidence to the Youth at Work team, who are trying to find all different ways to see how they can serve you better. So this is an amazing feedback, which is well appreciated. Thank you very much for that. I've left the last 5 minutes or so for any Q&A. So if you have any questions or thoughts, the chat is still open. I am watching the chat as we speak. So feel free to share if you have any thoughts, questions, or just any comment if you have any, and we can basically take it from there. Daniel, you're welcome to talk about it. I know we had a conversation just before we started this session, but if you want to add a couple of thoughts about it, this is the best time to probably talk about it. So over to you, Daniel, as we watch the chat for more questions, if any.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Atul, for such a wonderful sharing of presentation. I'm sure a lot of youth who are here, they want to start their own businesses. I mean, we all want to be entrepreneurs. We want to be business owner. So this is the first step really to move forward to really bringing that idea. Now it can start as an idea, but really bring it to life, right? So the Start Your Business program, we are going to be launching it soon. So all you need to do is just to apply, right? So as the requirements, as you can see on the screen, that it is a 12-week online program. So you're going to commit to at least an hour weekly to attend sessions. So the closing date is the 20 February 2026. It's on a Friday. So please just scan the QR code on the screen. It will direct you to the application form. So we just want a few questions to say, do you currently have a business? What your business is all about? And a bit of motivation to say, why do you want to be part of this program, right? This is a wonderful opportunity, by the way, if you really want to be a business owner. So please just scan the QR code and complete the few questions, and then we will follow up on step 2 to the successful candidates. So yeah. And any other questions for Atul? You can raise your hand, you can unmute and ask your question. Maybe you already have a business idea, but you don't know where do you want to start or where to start really. So this is the perfect opportunity. I mean, Atul have been doing this entrepreneurship trainings for a lot of time and with a lot of youth, and they have been successful. So he's the expert in this field. So he's the perfect person to have this conversation about. So do we have any questions? Feel free to also type on the chats.
Yes, I have a question, but I don't know where's that digit, the thing that puts my hand up.
Oh, you can go for it.
Awesome. My first question is, hi, I'm Monique Delamo from Delamo here. I'm a supervisor. My first question is, I can't find myself on my name on the alumni in every barcode I've scanned. Is it because I haven't registered as an alumni, or does this opportunity is not for us supervisors? only for our youth? That's the first question. And how do I get myself to be on the alumni when I type my name and some of the opportunities come up like this? I can also partake in them as the supervisor, you know?
So can you hear me?
Yes, I can definitely hear you.
Okay, so the opportunity is strictly for yes youth and alumni, people who have been on the
So
program.
I don't, okay, so I'm not a part of it. I'm just a supervisor. I must just interact and watch. That
Yes, you
sucks.
can
It
support
sucks.
you can support the alumni and youth
Okay.
to be able to participate.
Okay. Oh well. Oh well. I'm bummed, but oh well, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ebenezer. Do we have any other questions? Okay, Tato, your hand is up. You can unmute. Tato Tom. Okay, also Sivet, you have a question. Sivet Koko, you've also been having your hand up for a while.
Hello,
Yes, we can hear you.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I was wondering, like, I've got a small business, which for the moment I'd rather not say what it is, but when will it be the best time to expand? Like, yeah, expand the business.
Yeah,
Can you
Atul,
catch
Tato,
that?
the good thing is you've got started, and the best time to expand is to develop a good customer base for your business. And once you've developed a good customer base, you can start finding ways of how you can scale up your business. We will discuss that as part of this program of how to scale up after you've got started. So, those who have started, congratulations, you've taken the most important first step of jumping out from your comfort zone. Growing, it's like, when you start a car in the first gear, but when you really want
Yeah.
to start cruising and going fast, you change gear 2, you change gear 3, you change gear 5, you go into overdrive and so
But
forth. So
sometimes you skip a gear and you say three and then the car stop or something.
yeah, exactly. And you either mess up your gearbox or you find that the car struggles after a point. And then depending on also, if you're going uphill or downhill, you change the gear accordingly. And the same thing
Okay.
applies to business as an example. So you just see the weather, you see how quickly you want to get to your destination, and you change your gear and you and you press the foot accordingly. So the same example
Shout out.
applies to your business. I hope that answers you, Thato.
Yeah, partially. Thank you, man.
Cool, pleasure. Dinner, I see we've hit the 3 p.m. I'm punctual about
Yes.
time. I'm giving the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you, Atul. Also maybe for those who want to reach out to you, Atul, how can they get in touch with you?
They can reach out on my Bizfarm email, which is atulp@bizfarm.co.za. You can WhatsApp us. You have the WhatsApp number over there. You can connect us with on socials. I'm available on LinkedIn, my preferred method of connecting. And I would highly recommend all the youth to actually have a LinkedIn account. So connect with me on LinkedIn, reach out to me. I will accept your request, especially if you're a Yes Youth. I can see that the application link is also up there. So yeah, many ways to reach out. We are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn, we are on email. I'm on WhatsApp. So feel free.
May I
But the
ask
most
a
important
question?
thing is to join the program. That's the most important thing. Sorry, Monique, go ahead, please.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I just have a question in terms of does Zalto, I don't know if this question is not for you directly, it's just for my employees. I'm just struggling with getting the cohort on the Zalto app. So I'm not sure if that problem has been resolved yet. I think I called 2 weeks back also just to ask if the program 4 of Pizza Hut could be included in the Zalto app so that they can complete the application for their certificates. I'm not sure who can help me with that in particular.
Oh, thank you so much, Monique. The team is working on it. I also have noted down your inquiry. We will ensure that they approve the cohort on Zelato.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you so much.
All right, and lastly, guys, please ensure that you do not leave the meeting without completing the register for the session. So the link is on the chat box. Please just double check via the chat box. There should be a link there just to confirm that you did attend this session. This will also link back to your profile because we do track the sessions that you attend. And also, since Atul touched on LinkedIn, creating LinkedIn profiles, please do not forget to add Youth at Work as your employer on LinkedIn. Right? We are also on LinkedIn. Please also follow us. Also, as I did highlight at the beginning, the recording of this session will be shared on YouTube, right? Just so you can go and recap the information shared. But if there's nothing else, I see we are over 3 minutes with the meeting. I think we can then all open our cameras, videos. Let us see you. Let us wrap up. Thank you so much for joining this meeting. We hope that it was beneficial to everybody. And thank you to you also, Atul, for hosting and sharing such insightful information on opening a business and starting a business. Right. Thank you, guys. Have a
Please
lovely
send
day.
us the register link.
Okay, we will
Thank
reshare
you,
on the
bye.
chats. Please check the chats. It's shared there now. Okay, thank you then. Please complete the register, then you can leave the meeting. Right, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye bye.
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 Bye.